Hello, this is John Wolf, and I'd like to welcome you back to the Wind of the Soul podcast series. This is episode number 6, and it's titled Law of Attraction, The Techniques. This recording is meant to be the third installment in the Wind of the Soul Law of Attraction series. The very first episode was podcast number 4, The Law of Attraction. The second installment was episode number 5, and that was titled The Inspiration Behind Deliberate Creation. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about more of the quote-unquote mainstream teachings about the law of attraction. I feel in my last recording, I really got heavily into the aspects pertaining to what inspires us to become deliberate creators in our life and in our experiences. Even though I realize there are a lot of things on the market out there that speak about these techniques that I'm going to be discussing in today's episode, I wanted to bring this in so it was a well-rounded set of recordings for my listeners and my visitors, because even though there are many that are well-educated about this information, I also feel that I'm bringing in some new listeners and some new readers and visitors that are unaware of some of these techniques that I'm speaking about. There's some people that maybe haven't even really come across this information out there in the mainstream. So that's why I want to be able to encompass this and really make it a nice, well-rounded set of recordings that I feel people can take with them anywhere, episode 3, episode 4, and now this 5th episode, and be able to employ the ideas and the strategies for really making a difference and a change within their lives. I'm going to be discussing meditation and visualization. I'm going to be talking about journaling. I'm going to be talking about bringing appreciation into your life, and I'm going to be talking about really relaxing and allowing this information to not only expand from you, but to relax and allow in bringing the items that you're wanting, or the change of situation or circumstances that you're wanting into your life. And I'm also going to be talking about imagery techniques, and that ties in with the visualization, and it is a means for being able to take something that you want and placing it in a location around your house, so you're always having that reminder. And a lot of people do that with what they call vision boards. That name became very popular because of The Secret. Some people do it on, a bulletin board. Some people cut out a piece of construction paper and they put everything that they want on there. I do it on a bulletin board, but then I also hang things in other places from time to time, like on the refrigerator or on the garage door inside the garage. So there's always little reminders throughout my day of what I'm working towards and what I'm bringing into my life. All of the techniques in today's episode are key components to fitting everything together in this journey of learning to become deliberate creators. I believe the most important, though, is meditation. And the reason it is so important is because it is what helps us to step into the awareness of now. Meditation puts us in touch with the observer. It's the part of us that is focusing its awareness on this experience. And when we can quiet all of the chatter that's going on in our lives, and we're able to withdraw from everything that appears to be externally happening around us, then we can learn to hone and practice the ability to be present in this moment as much as possible. Meditation allows us to do that. And because it takes out all of the rampant chatter, not only within our minds, but what we believe is external from ourselves and happening on a daily basis. When we take that 15, 20 minutes, 5 minutes even of meditation, it allows us to remove ourselves from all of this, the stimulus and the stimuli that's going on around us, because we are distracted by that. We allow ourselves to become distracted by what's going on around us all the time. And because of that, as I spoke about again in my last recording, we do flashbacks, because what's happening around us is primarily occupying our attention, and we are taking that information that's going on around us and we are processing it based upon our beliefs about our past, or the beliefs about what we're going to have occurring in our future based upon something that's happened in our past. And that's why it's important to withdraw into the practice of meditation to be able to help us to tune that out and tune in to where our true power resides. Now, once we can quiet the external activities within our lives and be able to do this on a consistent basis in the practice of meditation, that allows us to bring it into our lives on a daily basis. And what we learn within our meditation, we can take that and use it in situations that might be stressful for us throughout anything that's going on during our day. Meditation is not a difficult practice to get into the routine and the habit of. I recommend people set aside a specific amount of time and try to maintain that consistency as much as possible. If you've got an hour, that's awesome. If you've got 5 minutes, that will work also. What you want to do is quiet the environment that you're in. Shut off any electronic devices, shut off the television, get rid of radios, and also power down your computers, unplug things. You really want to get it kind of an environment that doesn't have any other electrical stimulation, anything going on in that environment. Turn off your telephone by all means, and make sure where you're doing it at is quiet and you're not going to be disturbed by anyone. Also, another factor is you want to be comfortable. Whatever feels the most comfortable for you. Some people like to sit up and meditate. I know that they do this because if they lay down, they have a tendency of falling asleep. And for me, my body is always the most comfortable. I've meditated sitting up and laying down. And for me, I'm most comfortable when I lay down. You can do it on the floor. You can do it on the bed. It doesn't have to be fancy. You can do it nude if you prefer. The main point is to get yourself in a place where you're relaxed. When you get yourself in the position that you feel comfortable in, you want to start focusing on your breath and focusing on your breathing. Some people talk about counting. You can do that if you like. As you breathe in through your nose. You can count for 5 seconds. You can count for 4 seconds. Give yourself a 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,004. And then exhale once you reach a certain number where you feel like you've brought your breath in. A lot of times a good visualization as you do that is to envision yourself bringing in positive universal energy on the breath in, and on the exhale, you're going to exhale out your mouth. You want to exhale calmly. Don't force it out, and just visualize yourself getting rid of any type of negative thoughts, anything that's negative residing within yourself. Now, as you're doing your breathing, you really want to focus on breathing from your diaphragm. You don't want to try to do shallow breaths. In my meditation, I'm great about this. During my daily routines, I end up losing sight of that a lot of times, and I start getting shallow in my breathing. So I have to remind myself as well on a consistent basis to maintain that diaphragm breathing instead of kind of breathing real shallow with the lungs. Really allow your stomach to come out and then bring it in. If you breathe with your stomach in mind, then you're going to be utilizing your diaphragm. So that will allow you to get much deeper breaths. And because of that, the more relaxed you'll become, and your meditation will be that much more successful. And you can take the technique of breathing that you're applying during your meditation and use it as well throughout your day, especially during stressful moments. I highly recommend that because I try to use that when I'm having panicky feelings or anything like that. Some people prefer to use guided meditation, and I think that's great, even for working with the law of attraction and using these techniques to be able to intentionally and deliberately create our reality. I think if you use a guided meditation to get you to a relaxed state and then gently and easily find a way to, if you're using headphones, to pull them out of your ears or shut the tape or CD off, then that's an awesome way of doing it as well. The important thing is to get yourself to a highly relaxed state, because that is going to be when we are slipping into that moment in between our thoughts. And from there, when we get into the observer mode, that is when we have the most success in affecting our reality.